ASUU strike has become a recurrent decimal in the equation of Nigeria's tertiary education system. Hardly does a session go by without the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, embarking on an industrial action that is usually blamed on government reneging on previous agreements. This time, ASUU is on a one-month warning strike. What is the way out of this consistent back and forth that disrupts the academic life of Nigeria's tertiary students? This is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Blessing AG.
The issue of strike in economics is the action by workers, that is to say employees, to down tools and force the employer to hack into their demand. In the instant case, wherein ASUU, Academic Staff Union of Universities, has embarked on a one-month industrial strike, the employing body, as it were, the federal government, is accusing ASUU of insincerity and that the strike is illegal and that they never obtained permission or they never wrote to them before they went on strike. On the side of ASUU, ASUU has a main grievance, that is the non-implementation of the 2009 agreements between ASUU and the federal government. In law, the strike is mala fide. It's a bad faith. And I will say the parties are in pari delicto, meaning that the two parties are wrong. In retrospect, in 2020, ASUU went on strike for 9 months out of the 12 months of that year. Here we are again, beginning another year. They have started 1 month warning strike. And you know that if a warning strike is 1 month, how long will the real strike be then? It means that one could be ad infinitum, which is not good for the students. Students are supposed to spend 4 or 5 years doing a course. They now end up spending 6, 7 years. And this is a challenge to the National Association of Nigerian Students leadership. They should ensure that they prevail on the parties and stakeholders involved in the strike to resolve it, because when 2 elephants fight, the grass will suffer. It is they who will suffer. So they should ensure that the stakeholders come to a round table, have a tete-a-tete, and resolve it sooner than later. Parents, even workers, lecturers, students, guardians, we are all stakeholders in the university system. If you don't have a child there, you have a relation there. And therefore, if the students are at home idling away, the female students can tend to be susceptible to vices, looking for sustainability via indecent means. The boys themselves can become Yahoo planners and victims of other vices in the society. So we call on the governments to bend over backwards. If there were aspects of the 2009 agreements which they signed, which they have not fulfilled, they should bend over backward for the sake of equity, justice, and fair play. 2 wrongs don't make it right.
The ASUU and federal government issue, where today they are on strike, tomorrow they promise they call off, they come back to strike, and so on and so forth. I believe one of the major reasons why ASUU goes on strikes is that they said government is not meeting up their promises, the terms of the agreement, which they agree sometime. But if you look at it critically, Nigeria government is one country that do not have interest in education. When I say they do not have interest in education, I'll go for that to explain. 1, you cannot give what you don't have. You can imagine in a country where a school cert holder is governing, is leading a PhD holder. What do you expect from some person? Fine, I agree that you can have some experience, but there are a lot of things that you have to pass through on the process of studying in a university, process of studying even in a training center. And you look at it critically, you can see somebody who passed through educational process or to becoming a professor. We know how many years somebody can spend in university before you can become a professor. Look at what these professors are earning. And somebody will become just a local government chairman, and he will get what the professor will get in 1 year, in 1 month. Now, these same people in the academic will come that they want their condition to be reviewed and improved, and people in government will say no. So that's basically one of the reasons. The second is, you see, because we know that this student has spent so much time at home waiting ASUU strike or whatever. At the end of the day, as I said, somebody said that Nigeria is an enterprise because some group of persons have felt that this country is their business center. Out of also the corrupt practices, the ASUUs are being headed by persons. This same group of persons also know how to settle with government.
The issue of ASUU is actually this strike has been going on. We had it during our time so many years ago. It has been a recurring decimal in our educational system. And you will agree with me that it has a multiplier effect on the quality of education and the quality of sound minds we produce into the society. We already having issues of unemployability of our graduates and all that. So these are things that have been going on, and we expect that the government by now would have been able to nip some of these issues in the bud. I'm personally concerned about the effect of so many thousands, if not over 1 million young ones being idle for so long. We have been seeing it happening over and over again. Now we see the problem with ASUU. ASUU always say that the government is insincere in the sense that the government readily comes to the drawing table, the negotiating table, to agree with them that this is what they do. At the end of the day, they can't do it. Then the government also, they talk about resources. But we are saying that, I'm saying that the management of our university system have to be properly looked into. Just as you pointed out, how come that these students pay tuition fees, they pay other forms of fee, and how come that the universities are not properly funded? Maybe we'll look at in the area of corruption too. Probably it's not only in the governmental cycle. Maybe there is also corruption in our educational system. That is the citadel of learning. There is corruption there because some of those money, I know maybe the government also have subsidy. We are looking at the government subsidized education because the government have there are budgetary allocation for this purpose for the universities. There are budgetary allocations. Then the students also are paying. Why can't we marry these funds together and make sure that we fix the system? We take care. Countries all over the world, they are able to find a solution for such problems because education is the key. Education is the future. So it's very concerning and worrying that we keep on talking about ASUU strike even up till now. And the concern is that this warning strike will just be the starting point, because after this warning strike, if the government do not negotiate properly and come to the drawing table, you will discover that the strike can linger. It's not really good for our system. It's not good for the country. It's not good in any dimension, because once the education collapsed totally in Nigeria, we're already having problem. The problem we are having now is that youths are becoming vagabond. The issues of courtesy are degenerated into the issues of ritual killings every day among the youths and other. All these are the failure of the educational system, and because these kids, these young ones, are not being managed properly in the area of the education. So we're having a very serious problems in our society. The get rich quick syndrome, whereby we have these young ones not able to learn. So the longer these children, longer these younger ones stay off the classrooms, the longer they have this mindset that education don't pay, hard work don't pay. And that is a collective danger that all of us we are seeing. And I don't know if the government, they are also seeing it the way we are seeing it. And ASUU too should be able to mellow down some of these their demands, and maybe there will be a meeting point between the demands of ASUU, so that we don't keep these children down, because many of them are fast becoming vagrant criminals, threats to the society.
For the sake of quality education that gets completed within stipulated time, ASUU and the federal government have been asked to shift their swords and come to an amicable solution that will put an end to frequent strikes by university lecturers. I'm Blessing Aichi.